Hey, Lucifer fans, thank you for tuning in. This is a special interview with showrunner Joe Henderson after Season 1. We're going to be breaking down the season, so there will be spoilers, but tune in and have some fun with us.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hello, Lucifer fans. Thank you for joining us at this early hour in the morning for a live phone call interview with the showrunner of Lucifer, Joe Henderson. You can find him on Twitter at Henderson_Joe. You can find us on Twitter and tweet at us throughout this interview. Tweet at me at Stephen Lemieux. You can tweet at Samantha Benitz at Samantha_Benitz and Lacretia Lyon at Lacretia Lyon. Joe, thanks for taking the time out of your day to talk to us. I know you guys are busy right now with Season 2 fast approaching.
Happy to do it. Yeah, we are on day 4 of our Season 2 writers' room, so it's very weird and kind of cool to watch the finale all together and then dig into where we left off.
So last we talked, you guys still didn't know you had a Season 2. So what was that feeling when you got the word?
Oh, it was awesome. It was it could not have been timed both better and worse. I had finally gone on my vacation. And this is the like worst complaint ever because I was in Hawaii for me, and I land and I'm excited to go on vacation. Then I get a call, hey, Season 2, holy moly, how amazing! We're all so excited. But that's when I realized I now had to start working. So my Hawaiian vacation got a little abridged, but it's really hard to complain because we are so damn excited.
So first off, I have to say congratulations. Like, that's pretty.
Yes, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
We were really excited at the prospects because when you're working with a show, especially that deals with supernatural and is just so, I mean, already you're working with Satan, so you never know how it's going to be received, and you never know what the fans are going to think. But obviously, the fans really liked it. Are you excited to do all the things in Season 2 that you were kind of on the fence about in Season 1 because you were worried about getting picked up?
Well, it's funny because really, Season 2, what we're going to do in Season 2 is less about what we were worried about doing and more about being able to take advantage of everything that we laid down. Like, it's funny, Season 1 is so much about just laying tracks and sort of laying the foundation on things, especially when you're like a 13-episode Season 1 like we are. And now we've really sort of we've found a rhythm. We've set up our characters in our world. Now it's playtime. And by the way, I would like to point out that it sounds like if we need to ever recast Tom Ellis, Ted Cruz is available. I don't know if you guys saw
I heard that.
the headline this morning.
Yeah, John Boehner said he was Lucifer himself.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So Tom, watch out. I think
Some
you might have
competition
someone playing the role.
Oh man. So you just mentioned that Season 1 was 13 episodes. You got 13 episodes to play with. When I tweeted out last night, one of the most common questions that I got, and I'll shout out Bulldog6 on Twitter, said, how many episodes in Season 2? Can you tell us?
I can tell you that we have 13 episodes picked up, but that doesn't mean that it'll only be 13 episodes. All we know so far is that we have 13 episodes. So it could be more, could stay 13. We are waiting to find out as well as everyone else.
How does that affect your process when you have to go into a writer's room thinking, all right, guys, so we got 13, but we might get it back 9. How do you? Well,
it's great because personally, what I like to build towards the waypoints, and like for example, I like to have one around episodes 5 or 6, and then I like to have one around episode 13. So to me, it's just knowing what will either be Season 3 or later on Season 2. And always having those sort of pivot moments where big things happen to the characters and things sort of get mucked up. Like in this season, it was the wings, and then everything that happened with Lucifer in the finale. If we'd had a back 9, we would have just kept pivoting and gone on with our mom story.
Okay.
Yeah. So it seems like you're going to continue with Lucifer fighting crime in Season 2 a little bit, correct?
Yes. I personally really think we found a good rhythm, in particular in the back half, of mixing the crime and the thematics of it with the serialization, so that there's a little bit of something for everyone. And that's what I like writing. That's, I think, what we all like doing. Obviously, we'll have the occasional episode that goes a little more serialized. We'll have the occasional episode that becomes much more of a character piece, and then some episodes that'll be a little more procedural. And the ebb and flow of that is, to me, what makes the show fun and also a little unpredictable, because you never know which one you're going to get.
Well, Redhead03 on Twitter asks, will we be seeing more angels, and are you guys going to be a little bit more open and loose with bringing in more characters from the supernatural realm?
That is a question I can't answer because we're currently discussing it. It is a good question. It is a question we are asking ourselves right now. The challenge of the show is so much of, all right, we're a grounded show, so how much supernatural can we bring in that doesn't break it, that doesn't turn it into a different show? How can we very slowly peel away all of these supernatural elements one by one while still keeping our feet firmly on the ground? But it's a topic of conversation, that's for sure.
One of the things that I like most about this show, and I mentioned on the finale after show, is how you guys don't kill your characters. I think it's one of the most important things in TV that you don't kill a character for no reason whatsoever. Do you think that those are all kind of like little bookmarks that we'll be going back to in season 2, like the man in the glass cage prison who's gone insane from Lucifer, and among other people that we've seen in season 1?
You mean John Pankow?
Yes.
I love John Pankow. There are a number of characters that we loved both working with and writing for in season 1, and it's funny, we right now have a list of them all on our board, and the answer to that question is if the story leads us there, then 100%. I personally love world building. I love taking those characters and seeing where they go next. What happens to John Pankow's character after this interaction with Lucifer? What happens to Tom Sizemore's character? Does he finally start his clothing business after his near-death experience? Like, you've got all of these characters that you could either visit again or just continue existing out there, and we never know. But our hope is to at least revisit a couple of them, depending on who generates story.
So have you already figured out who is going to play the mother that was introduced in the finale?
We have not. We have some ideas, but that is still. We literally started the room Monday, so we are very early.
In the process.
Who do you guys think? Who do you guys like?
We suggested Betty White.
Yeah,
We
Dave
love that
Child
idea.
made
There's
that
major
suggestion. It was
support
awesome.
behind it too.
Yeah.
I just remembered that while watching your guys' podcast, I saw that, and don't think you're the first to have suggested Betty White in the best way possible.
It's a
We all
popular
love
choice.
her. I doubt we'll go that direction, but I mean, Betty White's amazing. Like,
Katie Segal.
I say that, and now, like a month from now, the announcement will be Betty White cast as mom. So I take it back. Who knows? Who knows?
Well,
Betty White's amazing.
I hear Nicole Bahari's open for work right now.
Yeah.
I am not stepping on that landmine you just put directly in front of me. Thank you very little.
I'm sorry, Joe. One of the big things that I have to ask is after the finale, I don't know if this was intentional or if you knew it was going to come off as freaking hilarious as it did. When Malcolm dies and he drags his hand down the cellophane wrap. And
Make your sound.
Yeah, even in death, Malcolm haunts you with the most annoying sound in the world.
Yes.
Was this improv?
That was Kevin Rankin, and we just loved it because it's so unsettling and so
We
just
enjoyed it so
annoying
much.
and creepy and all of that. I thought it was a lovely touch to the out of a character that whose time it was to go.
It certainly was.
So it means that Kevin Rankin is not coming back. I mean, it's a sci-fi show essentially, and no one ever really dies in this.
Listen, I would never say no to bringing Kevin Rankin back. I adored working with him, and I think you can see why on the screen. I mean, he just brings so much to everything, and he had such great chemistry with all the characters. Who knows? I mean, like, listen, that's again another character on the list of if there was a way, and if it served a story, I would just like to work with him again.
Awesome. Yeah, Malcolm became my favorite character on the show.
Yeah, I mean, come on, with that mustache, how was he not?
I know, always eating.
Just hungry as get out.
I think we actually made Kevin gain 10 pounds. So.
Well, he loves life, so you know
Yeah.
it's easy to gain weight when you're loving life.
Exactly.
One of the questions that we got on Twitter from @exactly10potato is, can you give us some more information about Chloe's Chloe's ability to make Lucifer vulnerable, whether it extends to other aspects of humanity, like can he get drunk, or can he father children, or are there any other inebriations that we're going to explore in season 2?
That is a lovely question, and those are the kinds of questions that Lucifer is, now that he is refocused away from the more urgent situations, that's something he will explore during season 2. So that's the answer is I can't answer it because I would be stealing story from myself in season 2. But know that we have not forgotten that, and then to me that's a toy to play with. That's a little bit of story that we can have fun exploring.
Yeah, and forgive me for all these questions that are definitely ones that you can't answer.
I'm good with it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Listen, I was always the guy trying to get spoilers out of people. Come bring it on.
I will if I want. I wants to know, how long will Chloe be in denial about Lucifer's true self? Is that something that you're saving for later seasons, or is that something where if she happens to suddenly believe in him, the story can still continue forward without you guys kind of even worrying about it?
I mean, that is another eternal question that we ask ourselves, is how long can we maintain it and keep her formidable? Now, keep in mind, in particular, she's just seen Lucifer get shot. She's just seen all of this crazy stuff happen. Lucifer snuck out of nowhere at the beginning of the episode. Like, he is once again doing things that seem impossible. So we'll definitely be exploring her, trying to figure out what exactly, how he's doing what he's doing.
So you're not going to
trying to find ways not to do it, to just repeat ourselves like before. You're
not going to just make Lucifer be Chris Angel then?
I mean, listen, if the shoe fits, and the magic shoe sure does fit. To be revealed.
So in the finale, we see that Lucifer introduces himself to Malcolm, basically in that scene, by throwing in a paper plane. Whose idea was that?
That was Ildi Modrovich, who wrote 12. We were brainstorming on it, and we needed like some distraction, and she pitched it in that way that I love writers' rooms, because it was like, it's like that thing that this is probably a terrible idea, and everyone sort of laughed awkwardly, and then we all kind of looked at each other and we're like, oh wait, that's awesome. That's our show. That's perfect.
Little devil smiley face.
So all kudos go to her on that one. It's to me, like, that's the kind of thing we persevere to do on the show and find is those weird, quirky moments that both take the sting out of the horror, but also make it a little scarier because of the unpredictability.
Yeah, and then I also read on your Twitter that Linda, Amenadiel, and Lucifer scene was something that you guys were planning since the beginning. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Oh, yeah. So early on, when you're like working on season 1, or at least when I am, you sort of like make a list of just scenes you want to see. Like I write from dynamics, so it's like, okay, what are the dynamics I want to see? Like very early on, Maze and Trixie going to Lux to find Lucifer and meet Maze instead. That was a scene that was on the board forever. We didn't know where it would go, but we knew that at some point we would want to see that.
Definitely.
And we wanted that to be how they would meet. And then for the Amenadiel, Linda, Lucifer scene, we knew at some point that we were going to bring Amenadiel and Lucifer onto the same side, or at least onto the same goal. And so that was always the arc of season 1 for his character. And then the fun of it was, we know that this scene is going to exist, and we know it's going to happen, but what's the dynamic? What's the emotion? What are they fighting over? Where are they at? That we had no idea until the very end, and I love that kind of like placeholder. We know that this kind of scene is going to happen, but you have to wait for the characters to tell you what they're going to say.
Right, like the chemistry to unfold. Super interesting.
And for a while we're like, maybe this scene isn't going to happen because of just so much momentum happening in the episode. And I think what it afforded us was a bit of a breath of air amidst otherwise a pretty run and gun episode. And dear God, the three of them just nailed it, I thought.
Yeah, they did. Dr. Linda looked very pleased with her surroundings, I'll say.
Who wouldn't be?
Rachel is so good in that scene. I love it. And yeah, they're all like on top of their game. And one of the things I love about our show is that we have actors who can do comedy so well, and you can put 3 people in a room, and as long as there's a dynamic between them, they will nail it.
The candles.
Yeah.
Tropical musk.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Tropical musk.
I don't know if you've seen the hashtag Clays too, because everybody's talking about that little scene with Mazikeen and Chloe.
I'm happy to hear that. I actually tried to start Clays when I was talking to Matt Mitovich last week, and so I'm going to pretend that I made that up, but I'm pretty sure someone probably beat me to that one. I love one of the things we're going to try to do season 2 is more of things like that. Chloe and Maze together, more Maze and Dan, more Dr. Linda and Amenadiel, especially after everything that's happened. Like, we have all these great characters, but they really haven't spent that much time with each other yet. And the fun is, okay, like now let's really start exploring what these relationships could be. Let's start exploring what these friendships could be, these rivalries, these everything.
Right.
Like
Different personalities interacting and how they work out.
Exactly. Like that's to me the bread and butter, and that's why I think a lot of season 2s are so beloved on so many shows, because season 1 you set everything up, and season 2 is just where hopefully you dive in.
Right.
I have a bit of a random question, but I got like 8 people on Twitter tweeting at me about it. At JustDreamin91, at WannabeMage, at Kim Merville. Will we get a Constantine crossover with Lucifer? And if not, will you guys pull an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and just cast Matt Ryan as something similar and not call it Constantine?
I'm the one that didn't have the Constantine question? Whoa.
Yeah, listen, I love Matt Ryan. I actually was a big fan of that show and Daniel Cerrone's writing in general. It's something we've talked about, but it's something we haven't really dug that deeply in, because we so wanted to establish our show and our world. And to be honest, I genuinely don't know what the rules are when it comes to the fact that now the Constantine has crossed over with the Arrow world, if that's its own existing thing. We're actually talking to DC soon about season 2 and everything, so it's definitely something that will come up. The question really just becomes, do we have a story for him? And if that comes up, then we'll start digging into it. Right now we don't. But that doesn't mean we never will.
I can send you some fan fiction. Constantine's my favorite.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Should I wait until I have a glass of wine and really settle in?
Oh yeah.
It's only right.
Yeah.
Oh man. So I wanna get in a little bit, just a few mom questions really quick. I know these are the ones where you have to be the most vague with, because this is the big season 1 cliffhanger. Is mom has escaped from hell, and Lucifer has gotten a favor from God, and in return he believes that God wants him to track down mom and bring her back to hell. So one of the questions that we got from Crawford_Gale on Twitter was, will mom be somebody from pre-existing mythos, or a new creation from you guys at the writer's room kind of creating something on your own?
Well, that is a very good question, because I think one of the reasons why we got so excited about the finale is there really isn't. There are mother figures, but there really isn't a mom and dad sort of established thing within any of the mythos, at least that I've read. So anything we do with mom, I'll say, will be shifting or appropriating something in a way that is hopefully new and exciting, taking something you thought you knew and shifting a little bit. That's about as vague and dancey dance as I can get without spoiling anything.
It's safe to say Chloe's not mom, though. I mean that.
Listen, I mean, if Lucifer really was trying to have sex with his mom all season, that would be very, very bold of us.
I mean, I already
1 million moms would be right.
I already made the prediction that Chloe could be Lucifer's daughter.
That would be out Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Steven is a pervert.
Yeah, some theory.
That's true.
Whoa.
Incest.
He's just a man of desire. He's not a pervert. He's just uninhibited.
Oh my goodness.
One of the things that fans liked most about the back half of season 1 was Amenadiel and Lucifer's relationship as brothers kind of coming more into this, where we can really see it. It's not like they're just hating each other for no reason. We can see that Amenadiel has desires, Lucifer has desires. Sometimes they come to heads, but in the finale, of course, we see that they really do care for each other in some way or another. Introducing the mom character is definitely a interesting way to pit them against each other or make them come closer together in season 2. What point in your writing process did you decide on this as the cliffhanger? Did you decide that you wanted to pivot towards mom as the last thing instead of any other storyline?
Well, it's funny because we were always, once we realized we were doing a father-son story and a family story, 2 brothers, a father, the conversation started to become, well, what about mom? Who is mom? Have we ever really discussed a mom? Because usually it's, God just makes things and they exist. But if we are filtering everything through a more grounded version of everything, then mom should be someone. And so that was something that we were always playing with, but we were a little nervous about pitching out to studio and network, because it's a big leap, it's a big jump, it's a big go, and at that time we weren't even sure if we hadn't even been on air yet. We weren't sure how much of a cliffhanger they'd be open to. So we were pitching the finale, and they're like, "That's really good," but they weren't. It wasn't quite there. They weren't quite feeling it. And I was like, "Well, we have this idea that we want to do next season, but it's kind of crazy." And I pitched it, and there was just like silence. Whenever you're on these calls, there's always silence for a little while as everyone looks at each other and tries to figure out what to say. but there's like 5-second silence, and then that's it. Do that. You have your finale.
I love that they're both afraid of Mom. And basically, some theories are saying she's Lilith, Eve, Death, Ashiru, I think is how you say her name.
Sure.
And yeah, I'm kind of hoping to see something really cool like that. And I also wouldn't mind seeing Chloe's mom interact with Lucifer's mom.
Oh my God.
Mom's Night Out.
Yes, Fear the Moms.
Yeah. We loved Rebecca De Mornay, and that's someone else that we'd love to bring back again, because I loved the idea of realizing Chloe's mom is more like Lucifer than we could have possibly imagined, and sort of
and maybe
doing
Lucifer's
the
mom will
mental
be more
math
like
on why she both hates and likes him so much.
Right.
Well, one of the things that the more I thought about, the more I found it interesting was the fact that if somebody was to go up and tell you, hey, Lucifer has escaped from hell, you'd be scared. You'd be like, uh-oh, not Lucifer.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering what the stigma attached to the mother will be, because it could be just as simple as she's a very doting and overly enthusiastic mother. The Menadil and Lucifer don't like being around. So
She's too in their business, you know?
do you think we're going to go more of a darker, she's a villain route, or more of a she's like kind of comedic in a way, or just kind of both? I mean, you guys excel at doing both.
She'll be the same as every character on our show, which is she'll be the hero of her own story. And the question just is, what does she want? What are her goals? And what I like about what you just said, and what we got excited about, is you hear Lucifer gets out of hell, and you're like, oh, okay, that sounds scary. I know why that's scary. But if you hear Mom's out of hell, and you see Lucifer scared, you're
It's going
wondering
down.
why.
She's going to take me shopping.
That's what Tom L. is sold so well in that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the show already has such Oedipal overtones in itself. Like, and we're so curious about Lucifer's reaction, but what about Amenadiel? Like, even he was a little afraid of their mom being out. I'm like, and he's usually the more, like,
Calm and
level-headed one.
collected,
Yeah.
Well, and not only is he afraid of Mom, but also one of my favorite moments in that is how well DB sells that moment where he's like, you spoke to Father. Like, which is, wait, why did he talk to you? I'm the one doing everything you want. I'm the one who's always doing stuff, and he of course talks to you.
Yeah.
Like, he sells so much sort of pain in that little moment that I love it, and it's definitely something we'll explore.
One of the interesting things that a lot of fans noticed at the end of season 1 was that Mazikeen goes from using Lucifer's feather to cure Amenadiel, which makes Amenadiel pass out, which we're assuming is what lets Mom escape, to not being there anymore. So a lot of people are speculating that Mazikeen is actually working with Mom, maybe to get Lucifer back, or just now she has to be beholden to the greater demon that is Mom instead of Lucifer.
That is a very lovely theory.
Oh, what a lovely day.
Okay, maybe you can answer. Is the feather a one and done deal, like a one-time use?
Is what? Sorry.
Is the feather a one-time deal, like a one and done use?
That is a one and done.
Okay.
That feather is gone, which I think is important because it really sells the idea that this was a sacrifice for Maze, and even if she doesn't understand why on earth she's sacrificing this for Amenadiel, she's willing to do it.
Okay, that clarifies it.
I got a little pitch to throw out there real quick, because I'd love to see two characters together.
Hit me.
Now that Trixie has gone through such a traumatic experience, I think she might need a therapist. So putting Trixie with Dr. Linda might be a little bit of a fun.
I like
Adorable.
Listen, the fact that Trixie and Dr. Linda have not had a scene together has not gone unnoticed, and all of us are dying to figure out what that scene looks like. So stand by.
Ooh, so it looks like the characters may not be necessarily older in the next season. Like, you might kind of continue the story where you left off. Like, we're not going to see an older actress cast as Trixie per se.
No, we're not going to jump forward. I mean, listen, Scarlett Estes is awesome. So,
Yes, I know. I'm like, keep Trixie.
Yeah, no, we have an incredible talent in her, and that's not something we're planning to go away from. So.
Excellent.
She's
That's good
awesome.
news.
I mean, look, she's adorable.
She is absolutely adorable.
Amazing.
One of the things I'm curious about is how long are we going to keep Dan in jail? He gave himself in to basically allow Lucifer to go after Malcolm, but now that we know Malcolm was the one and Chloe kills Malcolm, which is kind of puts in a precarious position for the characters, because if nobody other than, like, can they take a child's word for it, and then Chloe is Malcolm's husband, wife. So then if she goes to them saying Malcolm was the one who did all the murders, I've already killed him, let my husband go. I mean, it's a little bit suspect. So are we going to play with that a lot, or is that going to be one of those things where it's like we want to expand on these characters more by not having Dan be in prison for the first half of a season?
Well, season 2 is going to be Dan in a jail cell with Robert Durst, and we're going to make it sort of like this buddy comedy thing. We're really excited about it. It's like will they, won't. No, I'm just, the fact that Dan only confessed to one thing, the fact that person that he confessed about is dead, are all elements that we were going to play with.
Okay.
And the fact that Chloe is the only person who knows it, who's also her husband, everything you've pointed out are definitely elements that we're excited to play with.
Yeah, maybe Lucifer could do the right thing and help Dan out.
I mean, he might almost owe him a favor, you could say.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going to happen. So, do you think it's also going to be in LA next time, where he's solving crime? Are we going to be moving cities, or are you feeling the LA vibe still?
We will be living it up in LA.
All right.
To me, that is one of the characters of the show, and it's such a reflection on who Lucifer is and everything that he wants. So
it's safe to say Lex is going to be.
The devil is in Los Angeles.
Yes.
Which makes the most sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's the city of Los Angeles. If only there was some sort of I can't find the metaphor. So well.
There you go. Los Angeles, Lucifer's lost. Sure. His lost mother. Do you think there's ever going to be plans to give God a character, or keep him as a metaphor, like kind of just that thing that's overseeing?
Omniscient voice.
It's a very good question. Right now, we don't have the plans, but you never know. I don't want to close any doors. It's one of those games where right now what we like him as, the distant father who you always have to interpret, and you never get an answer from. So the question would just be is, if we ever did give him corporeal life, how do we maintain that, or how do we pay off that in some interesting way? So I won't say never, but for now, he is what he is.
Interesting. If you could change one thing about season 1, what would that be?
One thing about season 1, that's a good question. I would have given myself more time to work on it so that I didn't work until 1 a.m. every now. Let's see. I don't know. Honestly, I'm pretty happy with season 1. I mean, there's stuff that could use polish. I think we learned a lot about how to do the procedural elements. Like the first half, you can sort of see us learning a little bit and figuring out how to make Lucifer engaged in cases. But there's also a lot about those episodes that I really love and have a huge affection towards. So I don't know if we could have made the show without a bit of a learning curve, because I feel like that's just what season 1 shows do, unless you're J.J. Abrams or someone annoyingly talented like that. But yeah, so I guess that I would learn my lessons quicker, but I feel like our entire staff picked them up pretty quick and figured it out.
Are we going to get any special kind of bloopers or deleted scenes on the DVD when you guys release it? Or
you know what? I'm actually going to be on a call about that in the next couple of days to find out. It is a good question, because I don't know what they put together. I don't even know what DVDs put together anymore. So I hope to find out very soon. I love that stuff, but I just don't know what the plan is.
And then, so I'm assuming that the mom's a very big mischief maker character, and that's why, I mean, this is just my prediction at the moment, is that I think the mom, they're afraid because she's a mischief maker. She's not locked in hell for eternity. She's probably just in timeout for something she's done. You guys will explore it in season 2. But one of my favorite episodes of Scrubs was when they did the musical, and everything was sung, and it was just absolutely hilarious. So, Amenadiel's wings can slow time, so is it safe to say that perhaps the mom can make everybody in LA have to sing in musical format, and perhaps we'll get some D.B. Woodside and
This is very safe to say.
I love musicals. So.
This is the most specific request I think I've ever gotten. I like it. It's like, all right, so let's talk about what exactly mom can do. Well, how about breaking into song?
Yeah.
We want the whole city in song.
I had at least 20 questions asking for some kind of musical rendition with DB and Tom.
Listen, we got actors with pipes. Leslie Ann can sing. Obviously, Tom can sing. I assume DB can sing. I haven't heard him sing, but we got a whole lot of people that can sing in a piano bar with a microphone on it. So we will definitely see more singing coming up. I will take the mom makes people spontaneously break into song idea into advisement.
Oh, well.
Oh boy. So do you ever base any of your episodes really quickly on any of the 7 deadly sins, or do you plan to?
We've played with that a little bit. Some of our earlier episodes started with those ideas and then turned into what they became.
Gotcha.
But it is definitely something early on that we really toyed with. And then what we sort of realized is what people respond to most is whatever issue Lucifer is sort of grappling with.
Right.
So we started working more backwards from that, but the hope is that sometimes he'll be dealing with those sins, and so the two will conflate. So it's definitely one of those things that we like to play with because it's so thematically rich.
So I know you guys can't give us a premiere date, but can you give us a kind of a hypothetical estimate as when season 2 will be released?
I mean, we're hoping fall, but we're still waiting to hear like everyone else. So fingers crossed. But we'd like to get back on as soon as possible. We should. I think it's announced in 2 weeks. So I mean, literally, I found out when we were season 1 when we were getting released on deadline when everyone else did. So.
Wow.
Yeah, the Lucifer fans were super excited and dedicated and tweeting everywhere. I even saw the hashtag Lucifer was trending when you guys got picked up for season 2.
We have built up a really. I'm very very grateful for the loyal fans that we've built up, and it's been very 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 flattering and very touching because they get what we're doing and they really appreciate the show and we appreciate them for it. So we have a pretty active Twitter life ourselves, and we really like talking to them and hearing what they have to say.
I have one question from Will.i.am because he keeps asking and he's tweeted at me like 3 times about it. The key, the 999 key, that's just. Oh, do you think?
Yes. So I saw that one, and I wish we were that clever. It's an actual thing, and it's amazing because once we found it, we were like, "Holy crap, 666!" So sheer luck / the devil's work.
Speaking
but it is an actual thing.
So do you plan on utilizing the Church of Satan for any advice for season 2 again, or you think you're gonna?
Now that was a great question because we actually reached out to the Church of Satan.
Oh, you did? And how did that go?
Yeah, I don't know if I've told this one.
No.
So we for our Satanist episode, we reached out to the Church of Satan and sort of told them what we were planning on doing, and they were not exactly fans of what we did in that episode. So
I like the little head hitting the wall.
We've been both we have both the Million Moms and the Church of Satan against us, or not against us. They were like, we don't like how you're presenting this. We think you're misrepresenting us. It was a very very long email.
What's interesting though is Lucifer's philosophy, and especially in that episode, is more along with the Anton LaVey's Satanic Bible. Will you be more incorporating that philosophy? Yeah.
I like where you're coming from. Yeah, it's funny because like we actually have done a bunch of research into Satanism and the Church of Lucifer and all of these different sort of sects of it, and a lot of them still fall around at least that similar idea of freedom and free will and things like that. None of them are particularly evil, and so I think the different denominations and different sort of subsects / philosophies are things that we're going to explore as we keep moving forward.
Oh, cool.
Oh my God! Somebody in the chat asked, "Will Jesus make a cameo?"
He's on The Walking Dead right now.
Oh my God!
Yeah, exactly. That would be a great crossover. It would just we're like, all right, Jesus is coming, and then we'll reveal it's the Walking Dead guy.
Yeah.
Oh God.
The Jesus thing is interesting because in the Lucifer comic book, Mike Carey sort of jumped onto it head on, which was like the minute you bring up Jesus is the minute this story of fathers and sons and brothers gets really, really confused. And so he just went forward as if Jesus didn't exist. Now, obviously, we've had a Catholic priest and all these other things, but for now, we're following the comic book's precedence on that. So never say never, but for now, that's just how we approach it, so that we don't muddy the waters on our family story.
So do you feel like you're going to also infuse more of comic book references in season 2 as well?
I'm hoping to. I love getting them in there. I'm a fan of them all. We got We shout out to Mike Carey in 12. We actually, I don't think I've told anyone this either. In 13, Palmer Funeral Home is named after Amanda Palmer, Neil Gaiman's wife, and Neil, the guy who runs it, is named after Neil Gaiman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was cool.
There you go.
So I think I forgot to tell anyone that. So that's a little hidden Easter egg that we wanted to give. Neil Gaiman's name being so sort of famous, we didn't want to do a full shout out.
Right.
But that's obviously just cameos by the creators. But when it comes to the characters from the books, we're always looking to steal things. I'm still obsessed with getting Gaudium from Lucifer, and I will find some way to do it.
So
I haven't yet, but I will.
I have one last question. I don't know if you have any more questions. My final question for you is let's say when Vince Gilligan went out for Breaking Bad, he had a certain number of storylines in mind, and he had kind of an expiration date for the show because he wanted to end it with a proper ending and actually create these arcs that really had proper pacing. Do you have kind of in your mind a set timeline for Lucifer and how long the series should go?
I have a set arc for Lucifer, but and again, like Vince Gilligan's a perfect example. He was the one who talks about how in season 2 of Breaking Bad, he created too strict of a structure, and the show suffered because by doing the flash forwards, they realized they wrote themselves into a corner. Whereas in season 3, they had big plans for those two brothers, and they killed them halfway through the season because they realized that their story had run out. And I think the challenge of serialized television is being willing to change and being willing to say, I thought these guys were going to be the villain, but they're not, and now you're going to have a lot more of Gus Fring and Mike Ehrmantraut, which that turned out okay.
Oh.
Yeah, okay.
And that's the interesting challenge of TV is what Vince Gilligan always had was the arc of character and a sense of how long it would take, but the steps to get there. From interviews, at least after season 2, he started becoming more flexible on it, and I've tried to take that as a lesson myself on know where you're going character-wise, but be willing to let the character take you down different paths.
Cool.
Ooh, okay, so last but not least, since you're going to be shooting in LA, are there going to be any places that you're going to shoot that are kind of famous areas in the city or well-known?
Well, we shoot Vancouver and LA, so we shoot a lot of our
Gotcha.
stage work in Vancouver, and then we do splinter units in Los Angeles,
Very cool.
where we come down every now and then and shoot the more famous things. So yeah, we're actually compiling a list of the sort of Los Angeles places we really want to feature, places that Lucifer would particularly either enjoy or not, things like that. Like anytime we can highlight Los Angeles, it's only to our benefit, and it's only fun.
Yeah. Maybe Lucifer in the sports stadium. Who knows? Huh?
Oh, yeah, just so that I can go.
Yeah, Lucifer and Staples Center.
All right, final question, because I know you guys are busy over there, and I know you have to get back to the writer's room and get all that stuff done. So one final question from somebody in the chat. Lucy G asks, will we ever visit Lucifer's childhood, and will we see kind of how angels are reared up?
You know, it goes down to that question of how would we show that on our show, since our show exists so much in Los Angeles, and with that glimpse of hell, we're not the kind of show that goes to crazy places. But having said that, if we can find a way to convey that story within the narrative of our show, it's something I'd love to see. Right now, I don't know how to tell that story within the tone and world of our show.
Well, let's just say Mom brought Lucifer to Disneyland for a vacation back when he was a young little angeling.
Exactly. She loves that's why she's evil. She loves Disneyland.
Yeah.
That's the twist.
Well, Joe, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us after the season. I know you guys are super busy with season 2 coming up, and I just want you to know that we are really, really excited. We're all in. Dave, unfortunately, couldn't be here this morning, but he's actually really excited too because he was our big fan of the finale as well.
Well, I'm happy to hear that. I've really enjoyed your guys' podcast on it, so thank you guys for covering us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Fans, be sure to follow Joe at Henderson_Joe on Twitter. Also follow Lucifer on Fox, which is the official Twitter for the Lucifer Show, for all your updates on when season 2 is coming out. Throughout, between seasons, you're more than welcome to follow me on Twitter at Stephen Lemieux, StPHENLEMIEUX. You can also follow Lacretia Lyon at Lacretia Lyon. And Samantha Benitz at Samantha_Benitz.
You got it.
Tweet me what you guys thought of this interview. Tweet me, let's keep the conversation going about Lucifer. I'm also going to be watching Preacher because I'm super excited for that show as well. There's lots of good TV coming out, and there's room for everybody. Again, thank you, Joe. appreciate it, and we'll see
Thank you guys.
Congratulations. See you too.
next season.
Thank you very much.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Hail Mom!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.